Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well and that you found the last video really helpful. Today we're going to be doing adding and subtracting mixed numbers. So grab a pen and pencil and let's get started. So we're going to start with addition. So first problem is we're going to do 4 2/8 plus 3 5/8. So you're always going to start with your fractions. So let's do 2/8 plus 5/8. Remember, if it helps you to stack it, you can do it this way as well. Plus 3 5/8. Okay? So you can either do it side by side or up and down, whichever one is easiest for you. But start with the fractions. So we're going to do 2/8 plus 5/8. Since they have the same denominator, we can just add straight across. So 2 plus 5 equals 7/8. And then we come to the whole numbers, and it's 4 plus 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Don't forget about your fractions. So the total is 7 7/8. That's your answer. And then we know we can't simplify this because the numerator is 1 less than the denominator. Okay, so now for our second one, we're going to do 11 5/8 plus 2 7/8. And I'm going to do it vertically so you guys can see it done this way as well. So again, we're going to start with our fractions. So 5/8 plus 7/8 equals, this way. So 5 plus 7 is 12. So we have 12/8. And because the numerator is greater than the denominator, we know that that's a bobblehead and we're going to have to regroup or simplify. So we're going to put the 12 on the inside, the 8, the denominator, on the outside. 8 goes into 12 one time, so we're going to subtract 8 from 12. We're going to put a big 1 here, and 12 minus 8 equals 4. We're going to write our remainder small and bring it up, 4. So now remember, our remainder turns into our new numerator. So our fraction now turns in, or our mixed number turns into 1 4/8. Okay? And now we need to find our factors of 4 and 8. So let's back a little bit. We're going to put our factors down here. 4, 8. 4, 1 and 4. I'm going to do the rainbow. And then 2. We can just put a little one over there. For 8, we have 1 and 8. I'm going to do upside down rainbow. 2 and 4. And those are only factors. So now we're going to look and see which factor is the greatest. And we can see 4 is the greatest number. So we're going to divide the top by 4, the bottom by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And then 8 divided by 4 is 2. So our new fraction, all simplified, is 1 1/2. But now we need to add it to our whole number, okay? So we're not just adding our fractions, we have to do the whole mixed number. So 11 5/8 plus 2 7/8. 11 plus 2 is 13. Oh, I'm running out of room. 13. And then we also have to add it to this mixed number that we got from our fractions. So 1 1/2 equals whole numbers 14 1/2. Completely simplified. Okay, so now that we've gone over addition, now we're going to do subtraction. So we're going to start with 9 6/9 minus 2 3/9. So just like addition, we're going to start with our fractions, okay? So we're going to do 6, wrong side. 6/9 minus 3/9. And remember, same denominator, so we can subtract right across. So 6 minus 3 equals 3. And then we keep the same denominator, so it turns into 3/9. We're going to find our factors of 3, factors of 9. 3 is 1 and 3. 9 is 1, 3, and 9. So remember, this is 1 3 9 because 1 times 9 equals 9. 3 times 3 equals 9. Okay? So now we're going to find the biggest factor they have in common. It's going to be 3. Divide the top by 3. Divide the bottom by 3. 3 divided by 3 equals 1. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So our new fraction is 1/3. So now we have 1/3 as our fraction. We're going to put it up here, and now we can subtract our whole numbers. So 9 minus 2 equals 7. So 9 and 6/9 minus 2 and 3/9 equals 7 and 1/3. If you feel more comfortable doing your factors and simplifying after you find your whole numbers, you can. I think it's easier to do it this way and then subtract your whole numbers. So take care of your fractions and then look at the whole numbers. So now we're going to try another subtraction problem, and we're going to do 8 and 2/5 minus 5 and 4/5. So if you subtract 2/5 minus 4/5, do you see what the issue is? Hold on a second. Just like when we're subtracting whole numbers, so if we did 1 minus 3, if your first number is smaller than the second, you have to regroup, right? Just like in normal subtraction. So we're going to have to borrow. So we're going to come back up here, and our whole number is 8. So if we're going to borrow one whole and put it into a fraction, we're going to cross it out. This turns into 7, just like normal subtraction. But to add more numbers to this, you're going to add 5/5, okay? Because 5/5 equals 1. So if you're taking 1 out of the whole number, you need to add it to the fraction, but use the same denominator and same numerator. So the numerator becomes the same number as the denominator. So you're going to add these together. So this new fraction turns into 7/5. You're going to have a bobblehead. So when your number you're subtracting is bigger than the number you're taking away from, you need to regroup and make a bobblehead, okay? Because now this is easier to subtract than 2/5 minus 4/5. You're going to erase this, and now we're going to subtract 7/5 minus 4/5. And this should be a lot more comfortable. So 7 minus 4 is 3, same denominators, over 5. Both these numbers are prime, so even if we wanted to write out our factors, we can. 1 and 3, 5 is going to be 1 and 5. Remember, if you have a prime number as the numerator and the denominator, you will not be able to simplify. So the only number we have is 1. So now we have, I'm just going to erase this, 3/5. So now we have 7 minus 5 is 2. And then we said 7/5 minus 4/5 is 3/5. So you're going to have to regroup, but this is our first option. So we're going to call this regrouping. This is our first strategy. And then in a second, I'm going to go over how to make a bobblehead and then subtract. Sorry. Okay, so now we went over how you subtract using regrouping, and now we're going to do bobblehead. So first step is you're going to switch mixed numbers into a bobblehead. So remember, we're going to do 8 and 2/5 first. So to turn a mixed number into a bobblehead, you do around the world. So you multiply the bottom number, 5 times 8 is 40, and then you add the top number. So 40 plus 2 equals 42/5. So these two fractions, this mixed number and this fraction, are equivalent, okay? Now we're going to do 5 and 4/5, 5 and 4/5. So do the same thing, multiply, 5 times 5 is 25, plus 4 is 29/5. So now you're going to, since they have the same denominator, remember that's important with addition and subtraction. You're going to put it here, 42/5 minus 29/5. So we can go up here, 42 minus 29. So you can't subtract 2 from 9. You're going to have to borrow, turn this into a 3. So 12 minus 9 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. So now our new fraction is going to be 13 over 5. And we're not going to keep it as a bobblehead. We're going to have to turn it back into a mixed number. So 13 goes on the inside. 5 goes on the outside. 5 goes into 13 2 times. So we get 10. Remember, 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, 13 minus 10 is 3. Small remainder, and you bring it up. Remember, 3 is our new numerator. So, if you do it this way, it's 2 and 3/5. Remainder turns to the numerator. Number on the outside is our denominator. So this is the same problem we just did, but this is a different way to do it. So if you do it this way, you're going to turn it into a bobblehead. First step. Turn your mixed numbers into a bobblehead. And that's where we get these numbers, okay? Bobblehead, bobblehead. And then at the end, you turn it back into a mixed number. So this one has more steps. But if you're good with your multiplication and your division, this may be easier. So it's your preference. But yeah. Okay, that was our review of adding and subtracting mixed numbers. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any other questions, feel free to text or call me at my Google number. And if you want a green pen check or if you want some extra problems to work on, feel free to message me and I can send some over. So.